Okay, so these are the feet. They'll be sunk probably about this far into the ground, so they'll only be about a few inches up. And then there will be sand below, hard packed ground. And then the sand so that it doesn't sink. And then I can make sure with my posts and my strings, once I get them leveled, I'll post them in. Once I've got all these set where my feet need to be, I'll pull all these up and set them aside. And then I'll sink all the blocks, one to make sure that I have enough space between here and here to put the canopy, which is what the wood over here is for. So we got all our big beams, our other beams, and supporting 3-inch by 2-inch cross members. So I have all the wood I need for the canopy, and we did that from the pallets. And then we're getting this set up. I'm using all the same company, so they're all the same dimensions and flatness and thickness. So should make when we attach the panels, because they'll be going this way, that way, all the way down. And then I'll have boards that meet at 45-degree angles on the corners. So you have like a kind of encapsulation box, and then you'll have all the boards that'll go across this way in between all that. And then, yeah, still got fucking plenty of them. And got a few back here. I have one more row to set up, so I gotta clear some crabgrass left over here. And then these gotta be cut, so the one back here fits, but these have to be cut, and then I have to put new cross members in there so that I can get that dead space there fixed. And then here I need like just a little bit cut off, and then here I need just a little bit cut off, so they're just a tiny bit over. I use these to kind of plug up, and then I'll have to build a small little corner pallet here. And then once these are done, we'll go in and we'll start laying the wall of pallets here, and then it'll go to the back, and then it'll square out and follow back here. So that is done. And then once it's leveled, I'll build across the wall, and this way there will be a nice flat plank all the way around. And then the pallets here will create a wall blocking this area, and then the steps will be right here, and they'll come up like this. So that's what this back section is for. It's a nice sturdy little skinny pallet. And we'll have steps that go up into here, so it's nice and easy to walk in, handrails, whole 9 yards. And then we're probably going to cannibalize that until we can buy the like half round handicap steps that just sink in there and set. And then yeah, that's once we got the wall in there and we got the deck done and all the planks laid, this will be completely encapsulated, and the wood board, the plank that's going to go across, will literally sit flush with the inside of the bar, and it'll float about 1 inch above it. So it'll protect the liner, it'll protect the bars, and it gives us somewhere to set drinks, and we'll put like little tropical plants and shit around and all that shit, make it look all fancy. And then in front of the wall here, well, I should say about here to about there, there's going to be a break in the wall right here, and then here and here. And basically I'm gonna build like a little better box for this, and then our tablets, our brushes, all that stuff will be inside there, and I still can access the pump. And then of course this will go all the way to the back wall and then back, and then I'll put a support here close to the pool, so to cover that kind of round angle, and I'll use my jigsaw to kind of cut this, and then we'll sand it up. And then here I'm gonna put like a little trap door so that I can get to the inner frame and actually check on all the inner framing, and I'll be able to access everything still. Basically for those, they will be attached with just small plating and like 2.5-inch screws. So give me 1 second here. I quadruple bagged all my hardware. So they'll be like, get my finger out of the way of the camera there. So we'll have these little plates that will connect all the pallets together. They're galvanized 16 gauge steel. So got tons of screws. Contractor box of screws for 2.5-inch. Contractor box deck screws for 3-inch. And multi-purpose 3-inch construction screws. All with Torx head configurations. I still have a little bit of my 2-inch left, and some 1-inch carpenter screws for little shit, but probably won't need those for a project like this. I'll need big screws. So yep, once we get all that stuff done, the deck will go out to here, well, the main deck, and then once we get our inflatable jacuzzi, I will build another deck that starts from the corner and meets where the step is going to be on my last row, because the step is going to be stepping out that way. It's one step down. So basically right here is where the step is at the end. So this will all be covered, and then one of these right here are 50-pound 4x4 post weights and holders. So we'll put one post will be here slightly past the pool, and then same thing over there on the other side of the staircase, that corner back there we'll have another one, and then back here, and then back here. And then when we're done with those, since these are all impermanent, we're not using concrete, we're not attaching to the building, you don't need a building permit. So then when we build the canopy, I'll basically be building it with nothing underneath the lip of the building, and then I'll build a joist right here that goes up, and then we'll continue the angle of the roof, but instead of like a 60-70 inch angle, we're gonna go like 90 degrees, so it's still sloped by the time it gets down there, but it still gives us some height to walk underneath it. But this is gonna drop, all of this is gonna drop down about probably 6 inches, so we'll get some of that height back. But yeah, once I get all this shit set, I'll go cherry pick all the ones with the best wood, because these two need to be replaced. The wood is weak. The rest of these, the wood is nice and stout on top, so these I'll have to, one, cut down and trim, and then I'll have to put pieces in there to kind of strengthen them up a bit, because these are like garden pallets from like Lowe's, so they're not super strong. So I got to put some little pallets, which I do have pallet wood that I've dismantled that I can throw in between those slats. So yeah, just throwing down the rest of my feet here. Once I got all my feet placed, I'll tear everything up, sink all my blocks, then I'll put everything down, then I'll start attaching them to each other as I go, and that'll strengthen up the deck considerably once they're all attached to each other. And then basically, yeah, attach everything, and then we get our boards and we mount everything. And then for the fascia here, we will be putting an actual end board on there, and that'll finish that up. So the deck will come out a little bit further, and then eventually, like I said, it'll go from that corner to that corner, and the hot tub will go in here in an area that is like sealed off, so no dogs, no nothing, and we'll have shade for that too. And yeah, so we're getting there, bro.